Everyone froze when Leonor entered, the royal moment nobody expected. Everyone was talking, cameras flashing, a hall shimmering with gold and diamonds. The orchestra paused mid-note. And then, silence. Every head turned, every breath stopped. Because in that single moment, Princess Leonor entered. The world didn't expect it. Not the timing, not the presence, not the power. She wasn't just walking into the Royal Hall of Luxembourg, she was walking into history. From the first step she took, something shifted. The marble floors of the palace seemed to glow beneath her, her gown moving like liquid light. The tiara, one never seen before in public, sparkled with a secret that would soon set the royal world ablaze. And yet, behind that grace, behind the perfect smile and posture, there was something else. Something deeper. Something that made even the most seasoned royals pause. Because this was not just another royal entrance. This was a statement. Hours earlier, the palace corridors buzzed with nervous energy. Luxembourg's succession dinner was already one of the most anticipated royal gatherings of the decade. Every major monarch, every crowned head, every heir, they were all there. The weight of centuries of royal lineage gathered under one grand ceiling. And yet, the real anticipation wasn't for the dinner. It was for her, for Spain's future queen, for the young woman who had quietly become the symbol of a new generation of monarchy, poised, educated, disciplined, yet impossibly human. As the clock neared 7, whispers spread. The Spanish royal motorcade had arrived. Outside, cameras flashed, capturing the sleek black car that carried the heir to the Spanish throne. Inside, Leonor took a breath, steady, deliberate. She knew this night wasn't just about attendance. It was about transformation. When the grand doors opened and she appeared, the reaction was instant. Gasps. A murmur across the hall. The Crown Prince of Denmark, seated near the Queen of Belgium, was seen turning his head sharply, eyes wide, unable to mask his admiration. What was it that made that moment so powerful? Was it the couture gown, woven in Madrid with threads of silver and blue, a quiet homage to both Spain and the European alliance? Or was it the way she carried it, not as a girl, but as a queen in the making? Those who saw it said the gown shimmered like the sky at dawn, radiant yet restrained. Her jewelry, minimal but symbolic, included a sapphire ring said to once belong to her great-grandmother, Queen Victoria Eugenie. And her tiara, an unexpected choice, bore the crest of both Spain and Luxembourg, hinting at a deeper royal connection. And then came the moment that froze the entire room. Leonor didn't walk directly to her table. Instead, she paused, mid-hall, turned gracefully, and acknowledged the Grand Duke and Duchess with a nod that was both regal and personal. Then, she smiled. A small, genuine smile that softened even the most stoic faces. In that instant, the cameras clicked furiously, but none could capture the stillness that followed. It wasn't shock. It was reverence. The kind that only true presence commands. But there's more to this story, far more than the sparkle of diamonds and the glamour of gowns. Because what the world didn't know then was that this appearance was more than ceremonial. Behind the glittering facade, the young princess had been facing one of the most intense years of her life, juggling her military training, royal duties, and the weight of her country's expectations. This dinner was her re-emergence, a quiet but unmistakable declaration that she was ready. The European royals knew it. The media sensed it. Even her own father, King Felipe VI, watching from Madrid, was said to have paused mid-conversation when he saw the live feed. His daughter, the girl who once walked timidly behind him at state banquets, had become the center of global attention. And as the evening unfolded, every gesture seemed to carry meaning. The conversation she shared with Queen Margrethe's grandson, Crown Prince Christian, drew attention, not because of romance rumors, but because of what it symbolized, the new bond between two dynasties once separated by tradition, now connected by friendship and future vision. Throughout the dinner, Leonor's composure never wavered. She laughed softly at moments, spoke with diplomats, and listened with an attentiveness that many older royals had lost over the years. When she finally stood to give a toast, an unscheduled, impromptu moment, the hall once again fell silent. Her words were simple, sincere, yet hauntingly powerful. "We inherit more than crowns," she said. "We inherit the hopes of those who believe in unity, not just of nations, but of hearts." It was short, Barely 30 seconds. But it was enough. The applause that followed wasn't polite. It was emotional. For a brief moment, the rigid walls of monarchy softened, and everyone saw not a princess, but a leader. What made this night unforgettable wasn't just the glamour. It was the balance of grace and courage, the merging of old-world elegance with new-world confidence. Reporters later described it as the rebirth of royalty. Some called it Leonor's Cinderella moment. But to those who understand the monarchy's delicate heartbeat, it was something much deeper, a transition. A changing of eras. As midnight approached, the dinner drew to a close. The orchestra resumed, soft violins echoing through the marble hall. Leonor made her way toward the exit, her gown catching the final glimmers of light. And again, just like before, the room fell silent. No one dared to move until she was gone. That's the power of presence. That's the essence of royalty, not in titles, not in crowns, but in the ability to hold an entire world in a single moment of stillness. Outside, as her car pulled away from the palace, the streets of Luxembourg glowed under the soft light of the royal procession. People waved, cheered, some even cried. It wasn't just admiration, it was connection, a sense that they were witnessing something that transcended borders, something timeless. And somewhere between the flash of cameras and the echo of applause, Princess Leonor smiled quietly to herself. Because she knew, this was only the beginning. A beginning of a new royal story, written not by power alone, but by grace, intelligence, and the unshakable strength of a young woman stepping into her destiny. Everyone froze when she entered. But the truth is, the world hasn't moved since. Because once in a generation, someone walks into a room, and history follows.